Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in. I think as we draw toward the release of Battlefield 4 later this year, maybe it's time we start to think about what sort of features we want from Battlelog as well, as opposed to just Battlefield 4 itself. Now when Battlelog was first announced, and people were told that it would be the way the game would be launched for Battlefield 3, there was a lot of skepticism and almost anger. People didn't want to launch the game through a browser, they were unhappy with the system, and they wanted to be able to launch the game from their desktops as the way they used to. But this is before they'd even had a chance to try it. So just as a heads up, in this video I'm actually playing Tank Superiority mode, which is not something I do very often, but I thought I'd give it a blast. Now plenty of people I'm sure will still dislike the Battlelog system, but I, like many, am not one of those. I think it's a very well done system, it links everything together nicely, makes it super easy to get into a game, and the game just loads instantly from the browser. There's no delay in that regard, so I don't really see it as being a huge problem. You can just come out a game, check the server browser, and it's just as fast as what it used to be, just pressing escape and joining a new server. It's not really, doesn't add much time onto it. I think overall it works very well. I think over time it's been refined, and a considerable amount of refinements have been made since it was very first announced. The system we have today is much improved from the beta version we were handed back when Battlefield 3 was first released and when it was in beta. So the question I ask is, what do you want from Battlelog 2.0? Or at least that's the name going around. I'm referring to it as Battlelog 2.0, but it is really just Battlelog enhanced. I'm sure when Battlefield 4 is released it's going to be much improved. We're going to have a reasonable overhaul, you would assume. Maybe even before Battlefield 4 is released. It might be done in preparation. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure some additions will be made, and some refinements as well. But we're going to have to wait and see to get a good idea of what those changes will be. One thing we do know, however, from the Fishing in Baku 17-minute demo that we've seen, is that social media will be huge in Battlefield 4. We can see there will be more of an emphasis on achievements and challenges between friends. There also seems to be an in-game system now. Now whether that is just an Origin in-game system, or if that system is linked to Battlelog directly, remains to be seen. But I believe it would be foolish not to have some way of accessing Battlelog in-game this time around, and I'm sure that's something they will look to. Having some sort of system like that, I think, would be very good. They've got Origin. You can have Origin in-game right now, but it's not quite the same as being able to have your Battlelog in-game. Now, one of the main gripes I have with Battlelog right now is the friends limit. In fairness, it's not a limitation of Battlelog directly, it's instead a limitation of Origin friends. The friends limit on Battlelog used to be 150 friends, but then DICE joined the Origin and Battlelog systems together, and then that number was dramatically reduced to just 100 friends, which really is a massive step backwards. It's extremely frustrating to have this limit in place, and they have stated though that they're working on getting this friends limit increased, so let's hope they really make that happen before Battlefield 4 comes out. DICE have also stated that privacy is something they're working towards with Battlelog. Now you may or may not know right now, but you can search for any player on Battlelog, let's say on the PC. And if you are friends with them or not, you can check their stats, see what server they're playing on, and it will link you directly to the server, and then you can just join up. Now for people wanting to play in private, it makes it very difficult to have a public game without being followed and such. So more privacy options is a huge step forward for the system as a whole. Also, DICE made a step forward, I think, with the matches system that they implemented a little while back. I think it does have its limitations, and it was certainly not perfect. It could do with a lot of work on it, but I would like to see a whole esports section to Battlelog, using maybe a matches feature, a section that could have news relating to esports, maybe results, esports news, esports games. What would be really amazing is if you had the ability on Battlelog to see what matches are in progress, with links to be able to directly watch those games, should there be a form of battle recorder. That is a pipe dream, I think. I don't think that it's going to be that extent that we're going to be able to do that sort of thing, but it would be amazing. Battle recorder, of course, is a huge topic that I don't really want to get into on this video, but in an ideal world, that sort of feature, I think, would be really cool. One more thing I would really like to be implemented is some sort of advanced stats. Now, there are a few plugins out there for Firefox or Chrome that make your Battlelog that little bit better. They draw stats directly from stat tracking websites like BF3 Stats, and they just enhance your Battlelog with more graphs, extra stats that Battlelog does not provide. But it also gives your Battlelog more functionality in terms of customization, and that's something that I'd really like to see in the new Battlelog. We can only handle so many stats, and not everyone wants to be looking at stats. Some people like it, but the idea of extra customization with Battlelog I think would be a step in the right direction. So what do you guys want to see when Battlefield 4 is released? Do you have any big ideas or suggestions? If you do, post them below. I really want to see what you guys can come up with. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you